Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's Josh back with you on the video, and stick with me to the end, please, because I have some good stuff I want to share with you. You know, some of this stuff you may know, some of this stuff you might not know, but the stuff that you can use, just take with you, and I hope it's useful to you, and it saves you some money and time, and you know, just a lot of headaches, because I've had to learn some of this stuff the hard way. So if I could help somebody out, give them a little shortcut. Now, this whole video is about, relocation. You know, I know things are expensive now. You know, the home prices have skyrocketed. Well, everything's skyrocketed. That's nothing new. But, you know, if you're thinking about relocating to a more affordable area, you know, I have some good news for you. You know, it's possible. You just have to pick the right area. Now, one thing to consider is, guys, the inner cities, not and around the inner cities, everybody's kind of vacating these areas now and trying to go to southern states. That's a new thing now, and maybe you've done this, and it's a good thing. Maybe it isn't a good thing, but my point is if everybody's vacating the city areas and around the inner cities, why not take advantage of that and move to one of these areas? Because you know, that's kind of how things work. You know, when everybody leaves, the prices go down. It's more affordable. It's more enjoyable. You don't have as many crowds around. I don't know about y'all, but I don't like a big crowd. I don't like millions of people around me, you know, where you can't even walk or move or you know, drive or whatever. But it's all your preference. But my thing is why not take advantage of this? If you're looking to move, if you're looking to find a more affordable area, consider the inner cities and around the inner cities, you know, like around the, not in the suburbs, but in you know, around the city, not in the middle, but around it. Because I've recently moved and done this, and I've found an area that is just perfect. Well, nothing's perfect, but it's almost perfect for me. And also, you want to consider these things, guys, when you're moving to a new area. If you want to move to the city area, or out the outskirts of the city, make sure that you have a grocery store nearby, like a Dollar General or a Dollar Tree, because not a lot of these places have those. You know, they do have these corner markets, and they have these little mini stores and mom and pops, but sometimes they're really high. I mean, sometimes the items in there are twice as much as they would be in a Dollar General or a mainstream store. So make sure it's at least a Dollar General or a mainstream grocery store around nearby, within maybe 10 miles. That really helps. Okay, that way you can walk or ride a bike if you have to. You're not dependent on your car to go 20 or 30 miles down the road just to go to the grocery store. I've been in several areas like that, and it's not fun. But yeah, so that's a main idea to think about. And also, you want to make sure that, you know, it's some parks around, you know, especially if you have some kids. Make sure it's a park or a recreational area you can go to and have some fun, not far away from your house. That's a big deal. Make sure it's some walkways, sidewalks where you can walk and jog. If you're a jogger or a walker, where you can get out. You know, I'm a walker and a runner sometimes, even though I don't run as much as I should. But you know, this is very important. You know, I'm at a park right now. It's within a 1/10 of a mile of where I live at, and this is a brand new park that they've developed. Very nice. Look at this. And this is right on the outskirts of the city, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. They have these rubber mats, and that's really great. That's so much better than sand or anything. It doesn't get hot. So much better than pavement. I'm glad that they're finally doing this stuff to look out for the kids. And, you know, this jungle gym is awesome. I mean, you know, if you're a parent, if you're an adult, I wouldn't suggest going up and sliding down the slides and doing all the amusements, but you can get a workout on this. Look at these bars right here. You could do some workout on this. You can do pull-ups. I love doing pull-ups on these bars. And you could just find different things, like there's a bar right there that you could use, and in here you could do kind of push-ups or some kind of exercise. Look at those steps. So even though these are kids, you know, this is a kid amusement park thing, you know, adults can use this too, you know, to work out. I know myself, I'm going to cancel my gym membership and I'm going to just work out outside, because I don't like going to a sweaty gym, a stinky gym, and I don't like, having to, the people in there don't bother me. It's just the fact that going into a stinking gym and having to smell that smell, and also deal with the rude front desk clerks. A whole lot of them are rude. I don't know, they don't want to help you out. It's like they don't want you in there, but they want you to come in there. I mean, it's weird how these gyms are, but I mean, if you have a good gym, I'm not bashing gyms. Gyms are great if that works for you, but isn't it so much better to come outside at a nice park like this on a breezy day? And I mean, look, I have shade. It's just, nothing beats this. I'm all by myself here. Even if it was people here, I would still be enjoying myself just as much. But guys, look at the basketball goals over here. And you know how I like my basketball. And so those are awesome goals. I mean, you can't ask for more. Look at those concrete courts. Fenced in area, and this is a good area too. I mean, and that's another thing I want to talk about. The areas that you think is bad, well, they're not really so bad if you actually move there or visit there for a couple of days and get to know the area. Find yourself on a main street. If you're on a main street and not in the inner neighborhood so much, then it's a good area. You don't have to deal with the inner neighborhoods, the housing, suburbs, the projects and stuff like that. You don't have to deal with all that. If you find the right place. I mean, God bless me so much with this area, this place. I mean, I couldn't ask for more. Now, I want y'all to keep in mind about the parks. And also, let me touch on another subject. Okay, that's two. Another thing is you kind of want to make sure you're close to some ramps, to some highway interchanges where you can get to where you want to get to in the city. If you want to go to the inner city to do some business, or wherever you want to go to a bar or a nightclub or restaurant or anything, sometimes you might have to go into the inner city. And make sure you study a map. Don't always rely on your GPS, because I don't know about y'all, but GPSs don't always tell the truth. That'll take you the back way. GPSs will take you the wrong way, mostly half the time or more. You know what I'm talking about. So study your maps, and I found this to be, I'm learning the area so much faster by studying my map on my phone. Just go to maps on the phone. It's the same thing, but just don't use the GPS, and just study your map like old school, and just, study what roads to take, and that way you'll know automatically, and write the directions down if you have to. We need to get back to doing stuff like this. We can't rely on this new technology all the time because it's defective. It does help if you need it, of course, but I'm learning the city and I'm learning the area a lot faster than anybody would be learning on a GPS by studying that map, like people used to do before we had these smartphones. So keep that in mind, guys. Make sure you're near some ramps, some interchanges where you can get to where you need to go, and plus study your map, study your roadways, get to know the city, get to know the area. Some of these roadways are very complex. They're very difficult. You have to take many different roads, so it's good. It gives you a challenge. I like to be challenged. All right, well, that's another one. Let's see what else I can think of. Just look at what's around you. Look at the attractions around you. Right near me, within walking distance, I have a library, which is awesome. I have a post office, which is great. And I can get me a post office box. You can get you a post office box if you want one, or get the mail delivered right to your house. Some people like a post office box, but a post office right beside you guys, that's a definite plus. I mean, but you can't find that in some of these areas where you're moving to down south. You're in the country, you're in the wilderness. I mean, you have to drive 20-30 miles to get to anything in the countries down south in these southern states. I mean, it's very inconvenient to live. You must have a car. Now here, you can get by without a car. Any inner city, you can live without a car, and it's so much better, it's so much enjoyable. Now I have a car, I like the car, but if you can get by without a car, I mean, it's so much better. I'm thinking about getting a electric scooter. Let me know in the comments which some brands maybe I should look at. I'm going to get one pretty soon just so I could ride up and down the sidewalks and get to where I need to go on an electric scooter. That way I won't have to walk the whole way. Now I'm going to walk a lot of times because I love walking. I like getting exercise. That's another thing, guys. Get out, walk more. Do some running, do some biking. Get fit. You don't have to do it all the time, but instead of driving a car, if you can, if you're not going that far, just take your electric scooter or your bicycle, and it's cool. You're saving on gas. You're not polluting the air. You're saving on the roadway space. For the people that actually need to get somewhere, an important place. It's just so much better, guys. We need to think about all these things, but just pay attention to what's around you. Is it convenient for you and your family? The schools, of course. But watch out for some of these inner areas where the houses are, because I know a lot of you guys, you're going after a house, and that's fine. But some of these houses that are on sale and cheap, well, they're not in a good area. Okay, you have to really scope out the area. Look at the outside area of the house that you're getting. Okay, because you gotta get a feeling and a vibe of the neighbors of the neighborhood that you are living in, because you don't want to move to a area that is not so good. Because don't get me wrong, guys, I'm not judging some of these areas, but some of these areas in these inner cities are dangerous. They're not good. They have drug deals going on. They have these parties, cookouts. It's not a color thing, but it's like a culture thing. They have these cultures in these pockets in these neighborhoods. So watch what neighborhood you go to. But you can tell if it's good or not. You can tell. You can get the vibe. You can ask around. Ask some neighbors. That's what I do. I ask different people. Hey, how is it in this area? Be blunt. Be straight up. You want to know how it is in this area. You're thinking about moving. You're thinking about moving your family here, and you want to know if this house would be an okay house to get. What about this street that this house is on? Is this street okay? What's the history on this street? All right. Anyway, guys, I'm trying to think of some more stuff. It's a lot more things to consider, though, when you're moving. Is it a gas station nearby? Is it a store nearby? Where's the closest gas station? Where's the closest Advance Auto or AutoZone if you need to get some auto parts? What is it a good eatery around? If you do money transfers, is it a money transfer place nearby? What about a laundromat? You have to figure that out. Is it a laundromat nearby? If you don't have a washer and dryer in your apartment or house. Most people do have washer and dryers in their homes, but it's a lot of people go to laundromats. But these things you just got to look out for, guys, and think about. I hope I helped somebody out, and I'm sorry about going on and on, but you really got to think about these things. And I want to stress the parks again, because if you have a park and you have a recreational area that you can go to near where you live at, where you can actually go, breathe, enjoy the outside, have some fun, be alone, or take your family. Look at this. Look at it. There's a grill right there. How awesome is that? Look at that table. It's even a bathroom right there. A lot of these places don't provide that. Okay, so you want to look for these conveniences. It's another table over there. And, I just can't get over this park. I love it. And you can even get Wi-Fi here. That's another thing, guys. Check your Wi-Fi spots. I suggest, I'm not promoting any business, but I got Xfinity, and I can get $10 a month unlimited internet, okay? And I'm not suggesting any carrier. Like I said, I'm not selling, but this is very convenient for me because $10 a month, unlimited Wi-Fi, and they have pockets all over the city. Like everywhere you go, the Wi-Fi will pop up, and that's your internet. And so this is something to consider, guys. If you want to save some money, rather than paying a big carrier, why not get $10 a month with Xfinity? These things can save you money. instead of going to an expensive name brand grocery store, and I'm not going to name any names, but these grocery stores are taking advantage of inflation. They're taking advantage of these high prices, and they're just going up and up. And maybe they don't have a choice, but why are the prices so much more down in the other stores? So stick to your Dollar Generals, stick to your dollar store, your Dollar Trees. Now, I'm telling you, this is a big hack. This is a big one. And, you know, guys, you can save a whole lot of money doing this. You know, you can get by on nothing. You know, if you're having a hard time financially, you have to think about these things. You have to break it down. What can you do to save money? I know saving money isn't fun. Everybody likes to spend money. You know, spend. Well, I like to spend money too. But when you can save money and you can do things smart or more efficiently and do things that make sense, you need to do these things. You know, this is what's required today, because we have no choice. You know, I don't care how rich you are. I don't care how good you're doing. You have to watch your money. You have to manage your money properly. You know, the wealthy, even the rich do that. They stress on that big time. You know, they are master money managers. And you know, that's what we have to get good at. You know, I've gotten good at this over the years, but it hadn't been easy. I've learned the hard way, you know, just by trial and error, going in stores, looking at prices. And you know, that's how you do it, guys. You know, you get some off-brands. You know, these off-brand cereals, they're a lot more better than, well, they're just as good as the name brands. I don't have to have name brand. If the food is just as good as quality, and it's good, it's great food, what's the difference in a name on a can or a name on a box? I mean, it's no difference. Some of the off-brands I find to be better than the name brand. So keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, I hope I helped you out later on, and peace, and y'all just love each other, and you know, I'm saying, just be happy. And if you're thinking about moving to an inner city area, this could be a big advantage to you, because a lot of people are moving out of the inner cities, and this could be the perfect time to move in an area like this and take advantage of a great deal. Thank you, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for listening.